was the clean. The clean is a little bit of a, kind of, you do the clean so that you can get to where you're doing the press. Now I'm going to show you with this bell here. The clean exercise, think about if you were going to put on a tight sweater. In other words, you get underneath how your elbow would come here to put on the sweater. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't have it out here. You would get underneath and you would pretty much wind up with your forearm perpendicular to the floor. That's what we want to do when we're learning the clean, again, which is a transitional exercise to get to the press. Basically, very similar to the swing, except in most cases the clean is going to be from a dead start as opposed to swinging, which is going to be leading into the snatch. The clean is going to be here. Notice how I'm keeping my fist pointed straight up to the ceiling as opposed to letting it get outside here or out like that. That's how most people, when they first do it without instruction, they'll let the elbow go out like that. You won't do that too many times before you'll complain about having shoulder problems. So think about getting underneath here and just let it catch and ride on the side of your arm. Even with the lighter bell, over here, keep it underneath. And you notice here, I'm almost really in a resting position. That's when you know that you've done the clean correctly and that you could actually stand here and not feel like your shoulder is under a tremendous amount of demand here. So I'm keeping the wrist straight up and down, not here. Straight up and down, and I'm not out here. So think about just keeping it snug into your hips or into your rib cage like that. And then when we go into the press, one of the advantages of kettlebell over the dumbbell is that you actually are traveling in the optimal biomechanical position for the shoulder for an overhead press, meaning that I'm going and I'm finishing, if you can see this, I'm finishing with my arm behind my ear, where if I look to the side, I can see space. I'm not looking at my arm. Dumbbells typically teach you, when people say, well, it hurts when I press overhead. I have clients that can't do a dumbbell overhead, they can do a kettlebell overhead. They press the dumbbell like that, and that's where it finishes. And if they try to take it back, the leverage is not going to be as good as it is with a kettlebell, and typically the shoulder's going to want to take or the dumbbell's going to want to take a life of its own. So what we're doing with the kettlebell is letting it become more of an extension of the arm. Back, going into the clean, and then start with the elbow in front, and on the way down, I'm pulling down actively with the opposing muscles, which in this case are my lats, to help with the stabilization aspect of it. So again, notice where I've got the hips forward. Again, my lower back is not being overtaxed in this position. And press up where I can look to the sides. When I get to the top, I'm going to take the arm slightly back. Again, we're working shoulder stability here.